Many people come and tell me, Swamiji, you just tell me what meditation I should do. I'll do it in the house. I tell them, you will never start. You will never start. Attend a meditation workshop. In the whole group, you are forced to do. Naturally, what I'll say, tie your eyes, close your eyes, tie the ribbon. You can't do anything. You may be feeling lazy, but you can't do anything. I've seen these fitness instructors. They don't care. They don't even look at your face that you are expressing your tiredness. No, this hand is paining, that hand is paining. They don't look at you. They just say, do 1, 2, 3, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Right attitude. You are here saying, no. They don't bother. They just turn their face that side. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Only in the end they look at you and ask, are you all right? Here you are crying, you are asking this in the end. Same thing I also do. Only in the end I'll ask, did you enjoy? The whole day I know, because I have to create the positive abhyasa. Never miss a chance to live in the Sangha. Understand? Abhyasa means creating positive habits, positive things inside you so that it can go from conscious to unconscious, from unconscious to your body. Making all the good things as part of your life is what I call abhyasaha. Patanjali very beautifully says, I just wanted to repeat that word. Tatra stitau yatnobhyasaha. The effort to remain constantly in that elevated state of awareness is abhyasaha. Understand? Many times when you listen all these words, you get completely inspired. I have decided from tomorrow, I am not going to miss Nitya Dhyan. And you buy Nitya Dhyan CD, DVD, ACD, audio CD, book. Sometimes I have seen husband will buy one set and wife will buy one set. Wife will say, no, if you are reading that book, in that page, I don't want to interfere you. I want my own set. And all kinds of things. And everything is ready, except you. Except you. In the initial level, you need to go to a spiritual place. I can say this is a positive pub, where you see the body language of the people who drink divine, who drank the divine, who are enjoying, who are radiating it, who are dancing with it, who are living it. You need to see their body language. You yourself need to be in that space. You need to be encouraged. You need that positive abhyasa. He says, effort to remain constantly in that elevated state of awareness. The big problem is, your body is unconscious. It has learned many habits earlier for so many years. So when you suddenly experience some higher truths, one glimpse, one strong experience, but your brain grooves are not habituated to hold on to that experience or to hold on to that high state of consciousness. The brain grooves are created only in a usual unconscious way. So what happens? You come down. Even I came down. When I had my enlightenment at the age of 12, it did not stay with me. I was not in that same state. In the 3 days it disappeared. It was such a big missing, unimaginable missing. Understand? Unimaginable missing. Till yesterday, you know you are God. And suddenly now, you are back. How it will be? See, if you don't know you are God, you are a consciousness, you are an enlightened soul, you know at least this is what you just put up with it, live with it, okay. But you know it, and suddenly your body is not ready to live that. That is the worst missing can happen. When I went back, I was pouring because it was like a 2.5 days bliss fever. 2.5 days bliss fever. At the age of 12, I had that strong experience, feeling everything is me. Understand? You feeling that you are alive inside one body gives you so much of joy. I started feeling I am alive in everything. The tree, in the plant, in the stones, in the hill, in the temple, everything, in the air, in the sky. How strongly you feel you are alive inside this skin, your skin. I started feeling with that same strength, I am alive inside this pillow, inside this seat, everything. It was such a joy, ecstasy, liberation, no fear, nothing to lose. Nothing to gain, nothing to lose. That is why there is nobody who is my favorite. Because I am just inside that body. Just I am inside this body, I am inside that body. There is no favorite. Just before coming to USA, one of my new brahmachari, new guy who came to the ashram, I was giving little attention to him and teaching him, and every day I'll just at least spend 10 minutes with him asking, how are you feeling comfortable, you are settled, and all those things. When I was coming to the USA, he asked me, Swamiji, will you forget me? I just laughed and said, I never remembered you, relax about forgetting. There is no favorite. There is no favorite. If I am giving attention to somebody, if I am standing and talking, at the most, the possibility for the spiritual growth is there, that's all. The possibility for the spiritual explosion is there. Sometimes people are stuck in some places, you see. They will have very strong spiritual pull. They will not even know it's a spiritual pull, just suddenly they know. Inside the heart, just they keep myself and enjoy. And inside the heart, when they remember me, there's a twinkle in the eyes. When they see, there's a twinkle in the eyes, the corner of the eyes. Just it is such a pleasant feeling. I am there, inside. Maybe in the waking state, or in the dream state, or in the deep sleep state, I am there. Same way, the other part of the mind, the negative abhyasa, it will create all kinds of fear and questions and apprehensions. Either judging about me, or the community around, or some situation. See, the negative abhyasa is so powerful, it can show anything into negative. It can show anything into negative. I have seen people suffering with that negative abhyasa, negative conditioning. And that negative conditioning is such, it can create any problem out of any problem. And just simple thing, I have seen people, when somebody comes, if you give attention and tell them, how are you doing well, please have food and rest, then they think, no, I am not doing anything, how can I be here? Then if you tell them, don't do this work, do that work, no, they are taking too much work out of me, maybe for the work reason only they are asking me to be here. Mind can play any game. The negative abhyasa, one side, that beautiful feeling connection is also there. The other side, the negative abhyasa, the negative apprehensions, that is also there. That's creating some questions, some constant, you see, negative abhyasa will constantly make you think. What is this, what is that, what is this, what is that, what is this, what is that, constantly think. Sometimes when people are stuck in that level, that place, I just, out of compassion, I give them little attention. How do you feel? Are you okay? Because little attention, they can just come out of that negative apprehension, negative abhyasa. It can be broken. The Master's love is such a amazing energy. Nothing needs to be done. One smile, one word. Are you comfortable? Are you settled? That's enough. It can just work inside. The negative abhyasa can be just will just lose its power over you. I have seen. That is the only purpose or only reason. Sometimes rarely I give attention. Otherwise there is no, because I know completely I am feeling everything. This fight between the negative abhyasa and that feeling connection you feel with the master is the worst thing. I can say in a way it is the best thing, because you have to go through. Sometimes the negative abhyasa wins and they escape. What to do? Maybe few years will be wasted, or sometimes even few lives will be wasted. When they come again after a few years, after a few lives, either I may not be there, or they may not be in the situation to be around me, or I may be there, they may be there, that click may not happen, or both may be there, click may happen, but the place may not be proper. So many things. So I always tell people, don't miss. I have seen people missing in the initial level many times. Just they will say, simple reason. No, I don't have hot water here. I can't stay. In the ashram, I have seen. The Bidhi ashram, just because they don't have hot water, they will say, no, after by 1 year, you will have hot water and all the facilities. We will come back and stay at that time. They will go. It will never happen again. Over. Just because there is no hot water, they escape. They are in the hell. What to do? Nothing can be done. The negative abhyasa is so powerful. It is such a strong thing. Any positive glimpse, it will shake. Let me give you an experience about my own negative abhyasa. I think that will give you a opening. When I had this enlightenment experience, it completely shook me. All my ideas about enlightenment disappeared. Just like when you meet me, all your ideas about enlightened master will disappear. I'll be mind-boggling. You can't comprehend. If you are fortunate, if you just see me in a class and go away. No, really. If you spend little time around me, all your ideas about enlightened master will disappear. So alive, so spontaneous, unimaginable, unable to put inside your frame. You will feel shaken. All my ideas about enlightenment disappeared. And I was there in that field, filled. Maybe it took 2.5 years, 2.5 hours, 2.5 days. It is neither 2.5 hours nor 2.5 years. It looked like 2.5 hours or 2.5 years. It's chronologically 2.5 days. When I started settling, first thing happened to me, I thought some ghost has possessed me. Because I never knew about enlightenment, that enlightenment will be like this. Some ghost, because the negative abhyasa starts taking over. Negative abhyasa is taking over. The mental groove is not able to hold that experience. So negative abhyasa is taking over. The other side, my mind started telling, don't go to that place again. I started thinking that place, there is some ghost. Because I went and sat there, that ghost got hold of me. And I should never go to that place again. And that is the way I am supposed to go to my school every day. I will never go that way. After that, it took 6 months to go near that place for me. Started the negative abhyasa taking over. Not only that, I started feeling all kinds of things. I think there was one Swami who was teaching me yoga and another one Swami who was teaching Vedanta. I thought, who knows what these guys are teaching me and where I am landing, what will happen to me. All kinds of apprehension, all kinds of fear. And it is not staying. When I went back and asked that Mataji, when Mataji was there, she was teaching me little Tantra and Vedanta. I asked her, this is what happened. Am I possessed by ghost? She laughed and said, you are possessed by God. And all she told me, just be around me for a few days, nothing else. And she said, I'll cook and give you the food, eat and be around me. I asked, how can that help? You just be there, nothing else. But just eating that food and being around her. Suddenly, I saw my body is picking up the courage to live that enlightenment. My brain is creating new grooves to live that enlightenment. My system is falling in tune to live that enlightenment, to live that joy, to radiate that joy. I suddenly started feeling I have a company. I have company. There are many people who lived what I am living, who went through what I am going through. You feel comfortable. You are not alone. That statement can be given only by Sangha, never by, not even by Buddha. Please understand. Even I cannot give you that courage. Only Sangha can give you that courage. If I say, then you will say, no, you are enlightened. You are in a different plane. Don't compare you and us. You have all kinds of ideas. No. Sangha can give you that courage. Sangha can give you that confidence. Sangha can create that new brain grooves where positive abhyasa can happen. You can be again and again and again in that elevated consciousness, joy, ecstasy, bliss. You can raise yourself. Not only for spiritual enlightenment, even to live an integrated, happy life, you need abhyasa. You need abhyasa. Even to live a happy life, I am not talking about enlightened life, even to live a happy life, you need abhyasa. Because constantly, so many cyclones are happening inside you. Actually, just like a CNN weather channel, you need an internal weather channel. Today, there may be 3 tornado, 2 tsunami, 10 earthquake. That is what is happening inside. Look, how many tsunamis, how many earthquakes, how many Katrinas, how many tornadoes happening constantly. You need positive abhyasa to handle even this weather, even these tornadoes. Positive abhyasa is a safe shelter where you are neither touched nor affected by these tornadoes, by these tsunamis, by these earthquakes, by these floods, by these disturbances, by these difficulties. You need to know the abhyasa is the ultimate shelter and resort you can create for yourself. The positive abhyasa is the ultimate shelter, ultimate resort you can create for yourself. That's the ultimate truth can happen to you. Please understand. When I went back to the master, all he said, I asked him, first thing I had the fear. I thought I was possessed by a ghost. This Mataji, she told me, no, you are not possessed by a ghost, you are possessed by God. And she gave me the courage. After a few days, that fear went away. What happened to me was wrong. That fear went away. Now the greed started. Oh God, it went away. How can I have it back? I rushed to this one great Swami, Annamalai Swami. He's an enlightened disciple of Raman Maharshi. He told me only one word, this sutra, essence of this sutra, abhyasa. Bring yourself back to that same mood, same space, again and again and again. Let your body be soaked. Let your body be processed by that consciousness. He told me, let it be cooked by that consciousness.